Thank you for coming. How are you guys? Good. Well, before I start, I want to ask you two questions. If you think Hong Kong is a animal-friendly place, put up your hands, please. Okay. Then next question is, passing the revised ordinance, do you think Hong Kong will be an animal-friendly place? Probably not, huh? Oh, Amanda. Okay. So my talk is about how we think, our team think that if we do this, there might be a possibility that we make Hong Kong much more, well, not much more, but a more animal-friendly places in this region. I am here to tell you our 3 years project. It's called the Caring Kids. In Chinese, it's 同狗有話兒. So it's the children and the dogs having a chat together at schools. So please pardon my not so scientific talk, because this is a new project. We don't have much data yet, so we just tell you the concepts. The actual name of the project is called Promotion of Empathy and Prosocial Behavior among P2 and P3 students through 6 sessions. And we use human education as an element, and we use social and emotional learning as the curriculum. And we are using trained dogs in Hong Kong, so we have a group of trained dogs participating in this primary school project. We have a small team. In Hong Kong U, we have the project officer, Rose, and training consultant, Kathy. We have Joe. And then we are working with these 4 collaborators in Hong Kong. They are the leading organizations of using trained animals or trained dogs in Hong Kong. So we have Animal Asia, we have Hong Kong AATA, we have Hong Kong IAAI, and Mongol Club. So together, we have a rather big community with volunteers and trained dogs and students and scholars. So the aims of the projects are to enhance the social and emotional competencies of P2 and P3 students, and to enhance students' animal-directed empathy. So we bring the dogs into the primary schools. Hopefully, with the interactions with the dogs, they would feel more intact or more engaged with the dogs. And lastly, as a side agenda, we want to promote reading skills. How? I'll tell you later. This is the 3 years timeline. So we are just completed the pilot year. We went to 3 schools. So we have the consultants who went to the schools and teach the curriculum. And then there are a section called the Reading to Dogs part. So after the students listening to our talk, and the students have to read to the dogs with the books that we created. So it's called Reading to the Dog program. So these are the 3 schools. Then phase 1. After the first 3 schools participated, and the teachers would become the person who delivered the curriculum. And then we have 3 more schools, so our staff will go to these 3 other new schools. The reason is, hopefully with this setup, the knowledge and the curriculum can be sustained after the funding ends in the future. Okay? But help is needed. Do you know why? We are not lacking schools to participate in this program. We are lacking of volunteers. We are lacking of people who can go to the schools in daytime with the dogs. So we are very worried about that. If you want to participate, and if you have dogs, you want to participate and get trained up, please do. Email Rose. Rose is here. Okay, so we need your help. Okay, so now I'm telling you the progress of the pilot year. So we developed the curriculum based on things that we did before. In the past, I developed a school-based program based on cognitive behavioral therapy without the dogs. It wasn't that successful in a sense because the curriculum was a bit boring for secondary students. So that's why I incorporate the Reading to the Dogs into this primary school program, trying to make it more entertaining for the students. So we had our own 6 picture books. That's the books that the students have to read to the dogs. And each trained dogs have their own name card. So when they go into the schools, they wear name cards. That makes the students think they are the staff of the project. So they have to respect the dogs. And these are the storybooks. All these dogs, they are real dogs. They are adopted or they are trained, and they become the characters of the books. The reason is, if the students, after they read the books, if they can see the real dogs, they would be more interested to find out more about the dogs. So they are not fake characters. Okay, so Joe and our teachers will do the sharing about social emotional learning, teaching. Then the students have to read to the dogs with the books that we created. And there are different schools, and you can see that the students are actually quite excited when we ask them questions, and kids are quite relaxed, and the dogs are relaxed too. And for us to be able to sustain the learning, do you remember how many sessions that we have for this curriculum? 6, which is rather short. So we developed the so-called service learning component. So after the 6 sessions that the students have to take for the curriculum, they have to do something after the school and outside the school. So for this particular school, the students have to do something each day. So these are the items, for example, caring for others, talk to others, helping others, and problem solving. These are all the things that we teach the students. So they have to fill in this table. If they have 2 ticks each day, they will collect some stickers or whatever. So with enough stickers, our project will help them to donate some money to this organization, is LAP. So the staff of the LAP comes to the service learning day with the waiting to be adopted dogs. This one is the one with some disability. So the students, with their efforts, we donate the money to LAP, and then we tell the students afterwards, now these 2 dogs are adopted, so they will have the sense of being able to contribute back to the society. This project is new. It's probably one of the very few in this region. So the media are very interested in this. So Hong Kong 01 and then Economic Times came to different schools and interviewed with all this. And one really interesting thing we want to share with you is we had DSE last Wednesday, and our team with the collaborators and the Hong Kong U team wanted to do something, because you know the environment in Hong Kong is not so happy at the moment. So we had an ad hoc initiative called the DSE, Doggy Stand By Me, please. Not playing?
即係有隻狗喺度係可能俾個印象係可愛啲啦，或者可能係佢唔明你講咩㗎嘛，佢唔明你緊心情係咩㗎嘛，咁所以望住佢自然地有種舒服嘅感覺咯。
Okay, so that was what we ad hocly planned for the DSU students. We had an idea on a Saturday night, and then 3 days before the DSE got released. We worked together as a team for a year, so we know each other well, so we were able to put everything together in 2 days. Anyway, so our point is, our team think that the audience is for the protection of the animals' rights, but if we want to create an environment that is animal friendly, we need early education and exposure to create a caring attitude must be done at the very young stage. I have been a clinical psychologist for 20-something years, and we do have the mental health ordinance in Hong Kong, but still, stigmatization and discrimination for people with mental illness is high. So I guess having an ordinance is important, but early education is another way to promote Hong Kong as an animal-friendly place. So because the talk is about welfare, so these are the things that we need to consider when we do animal-assisted interventions or animal-assisted education. So every single time when we go to a new school, we go site visits to look at the place whether it's animal-friendly or not. And we need to check out the space and the parking slots and stuff. Then for the handlers, the volunteers, we well inform them about their responsibilities and their requirements of bringing dogs into schools. Then schools are asked to provide space for dogs to rest like that, and when they arrive to the schools, and we are very time conscious. So even though our curriculum is like 70 minutes, but the working time for the dogs won't be longer than 20 minutes. So we are not overworking our dogs. And only a small number of students, they can read and touch the dog at the same time so that the dogs won't get overwhelmed by a large crowd of people. Students are encouraged to pass their gain knowledge about the dogs to their peers and parents. So one of the things that we ask our students to do is they have to bring the books back to home and read to the parents and tell the parents what they have learned. So this is spreading to the peers and the parents too. And the briefing are done immediately every single time when we have the lesson. So because each school is different, the setting is different, the environment is different, so we need to make sure that the dogs and the volunteers and the teachers, they all having a good time. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. My time is up. So if you do have anything you want to ask me afterwards, please email me. And as we said, we need more volunteers, with the dogs or without the dogs. So if you want to participate, please email Rose, uwhiteman@hku.hk. Thank you for your time.